Hi, I'm going to be doing a video on my first period story because I got my period, which kind of sucks because I'm only 10. At least they could have postponed it to like when I turned 11, but apparently no, decided to come now. But yeah. Well, the first time I mentioned about spotting, well, before that, when I mentioned about like dark discharge and like spotting and stuff, like the first video I made about that, that was one of the things that I got before I got my very first period. But the spot, well, when I first discovered I had spotting, I showed my mom the panty liner that I took off, and she said, "Oh, that's just spotting. You're gonna get your period soon." And I'm like, "Oh, I thought this was my period." Apparently, so like the next day, before that, she bought me a little tiny pack of pads from the dollar store because my mom likes to save money. But yeah, she just bought me some from the dollar store, and she said it's better to have something than to have nothing. So she just bought me a tiny pack from there. So the next day, I didn't have spotting. I had a smear of brown blood, and I'm like, no, this is too light to be a period. So then the day after that, I had nothing, because that's normal when you first start your menstrual cycle, because you'll have irregular periods, because like you'll start to skip, or like maybe skip the whole entire period. But that wasn't the case with me. I just skipped one day. I'm like, oh, this thing probably wasn't spotting. I might have like pooped or something. And then the next day the next day I went to the bouncy place. I'm not going to tell you where it is because I don't want you to hunt me down or whatever. But I went to this place called the bouncy place, and I'm like, oh, that probably wasn't nothing. So I just jumped around for a little while, and then I went home. So when I went home, I went straight to the bathtub, and I changed before I got in. And there is another brownish smear. I'm like, oh, this must be spotting. And I'm like, oh, okay. So then I skipped another day, and then I got it the next day. And then I think I skipped for a couple days, and then like on the 26th of July, I got it. And I'm like, this doesn't seem like spotting. So I'm like, oh, okay, I'll just check it out with my grandmother, because I was going like this weekend. Actually, I just came back today. So I asked her, I'm like, yeah, I might need some pads and panty liners. And I asked, is this my period? Because I see brown smears from my underwear. And she was like, that's it. You're going to need some pads and liners. And I'm like, oh my god, I started my period and I didn't know it. So mine's kind of like a wild story. So, like we were at Walmart school shopping for me. Like, yeah. So I was like, oh, I need to ask you a question. That I start my period, blah, blah, blah. And she said, yeah, you're going to need some pads. And I was like, oh, so we can go to the section before we get in the line? I'm like, no, we can go to the commissary. I don't know if you know what the commissary is, but it's some type of, marketplace on, what's called, base, like army base or whatever, because my grandparents are somehow involved with the military. So yeah, we went there, and I bought some Always Ultra Thin pads. I didn't try them out yet because I actually stopped. I guess like I'm done for the month, because I got like my period like 5-6 times. So I'm like, yeah, that's probably average. But I'll show you them at the end of the video. And then I got like 2 packs of Always Thin liners, but and I was like, no, Grandma, I don't need a lot of liners. Like, I don't need a lot. But she said, no, you can get 2 so that you won't have to go back to the store for a little while. I'm like, oh, okay, thank you. Except that they were like the scented kind, and I have sensitive skin. So I was like, oh, okay, so if this doesn't work, I could just give them to my mother so she could use them. But I tried to scent it out, and I was like, oh, this doesn't irritate my skin, because I have sensitive skin. But it didn't irritate me for somehow. But yeah, that's just my period story. So then right after that day, I'm like, oh my god, I can't believe I started my period. Like, what the crap? So I texted my mother. I said, guess what? I started my period. And she said, are you sure? Like, is it brown? And I'm like, yeah, it's been brown for a little while. Like, right after I spotted, it started doing that. And she's like, yeah, that's probably it. And apparently I must take after, like, my dad's side of the family, because my dad's side of the family, they got their period, like, pretty early. Like, the earliest I say is around 8, because I think one of my cousins or whatever got hers around like 8 or 9. I'm like, damn, sorry, but dang. But I was lucky I got it at 10, and then like my great cousin Sabrina, my mom mentioned her, and she said, yeah, she got hers at 11. So you probably took after like grandmommy or Sabrina. Like, my grandmother got hers like at the same exact age, like in 4th grade. But she was too scared to tell, and then like one of her older sisters like gave her the talk, whatever, and then she got the courage to tell my great Gigi, which is short for great grandmother. But yeah, that's my period story. And hold on for a second, I'll take you to the bathroom. Sorry, I'm walking. So anyway, sorry I have to talk quiet because my mom's sleeping and I just don't want her to hear me talking. So anyway, I got a pack of the sorry, this is upside down, but this is like the Always Ultra Thin Slender, not Slenders, but Always Ultra Thin. He didn't, like, when I went to the store with my mom, like, to get some more liners, I told her, like, maybe get me a pack of the Slenders. She said, no, that's too expensive, so she got me some, like, maxi pads. But they're kind of, like, thin, but I just didn't like them, so I got a pack of Always Ultra Thin. I was pointing out the pads I wanted, so, but I didn't see no Slenders, so I would have pointed those out. But since I'm small, I should have used the Slenders, but I didn't have them. So this is what the Always Ultra Thin, and I say they're pretty thin for a pad. Like, they're like the size of a liner, but they're so thin. But I didn't try these out yet. I stuck like 2 in my purse just in case like I start again, and like I maybe want to use a pad, because they've been really light, because that's how you first start out. You start like light, then you progress to getting a little more heavier. Yeah, that's what I got, and I'm waiting for my next period, like, because they haven't been like regular, like I've been skipping some days. I have to wait till my next one so I could like get my cycle going, like starting to predict them, because it makes it like much more easier. So like, I suggest, like, when you first start having your period and you don't know when you're getting your next one, I suggest you wearing a liner every day. Just in case you start and you're unprepared, if it's like heavy or you just don't like spots on your underwear. Yeah. Rate, comment, subscribe, do whatever you want. I hope you find this helpful, and I hope you find my story interesting since it's pretty weird. Yeah. Bye.